Today we're going to talk about the follow-up email after interview. Most job seekers are taught to send a thank you note to the recruiter or hiring manager, letting them know that they are excited about the opportunity. But if you're here, you probably haven't heard from the person that interviewed you after you thanked them for their time and consideration. First things first, don't take it personal. People are busy and sometimes require a nudge or two, especially during the holiday and when they're dealing with hundreds or thousands of people at the same time. With that said, if your follow-up email after interview was an email template with no personalization, then it makes sense why nobody's responded to you. Email templates work sometimes, but personalized emails that let the hiring manager or recruiter know why you want to work at that company and summarizing the conversation are keys to the game and cracking the job search. For example, if you have interest in the position or you're interested in the job you just had a phone interview with, don't just thank them for the call. Summarize what you talked about, why you like the company, and most importantly, what the next step is so you can get that scheduled. If you didn't get clarity on the next step during the first interview, then you need to get clarity on what the next step is by using the follow-up email after interview, because that's a key to navigating the job search. When you're focused on mastering and navigating the job search, you never want to leave an interview without one of four outcomes: a yes, a no, a future appointment, or a clear lesson. When you send a follow-up email after interview, it's usually to confirm or schedule a future appointment, because one interview hiring decisions processes at companies are rare. Facts. Now, if you did get clarity on what the next step is during your phone interview, and you sent a follow-up email after that interview explaining why you liked the conversation and what you talked about and what the next step is, and you haven't heard from them, then your interviewer is probably just busy and needs a reminder about what you're going for. Again, don't take it personal. Most job seekers are good at the first conversations, but are terrible at closing, and good follow-up is key to being a closer. With that said, my favorite way to follow up with someone after an interview through email is by saying, "Hi, hiring manager," politely bumping this email to the top of your inbox, smiley face. Just wanted to follow up about insert next step. Again, really enjoyed our conversation and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, so let's talk about timing. You usually want to send the follow-up email after an interview the same day that you had the interview. If you haven't heard from a hiring manager after you send a follow-up email after interview, let one day go by and then follow up with them the next day to politely bump it up to the top of their inbox. The appropriate timing and medium for your follow-up really depends on the vibe that you got during your first interview. And by medium, I mean whether you're going to follow up through email, through text, through a phone call, but it really depends on the energy that you're going for when you speak with someone. That, again, is called a cadence, and personally, I like just waiting one day in between. With that said, another trick that you can try in order to get somebody to respond to you or politely bump it up to their inbox is by changing your subject line. When you change the subject line, make sure that you still keep your prior email thread in there so people know what you talked about when it catches their attention through their busy schedules. These are all things that I personally did in order to get my job in tech, but it's also things that I did in order to raise millions of dollars to create Career Karma. Career Karma is a community of over 50,000 people that are not just really good at sending follow-up emails after interviews, but some of them already have jobs in tech that they got in less than a year. Some of them are preparing to get the training for those types of tech jobs, and we want to help you do that today as well. Was this helpful? If so, leave a comment below, subscribe, tell your friends, and let's break in.